This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. My name is Suzanne Cahill. This is the Tree Commission meeting, June 3rd, 2020. I'm going to just read over a few guidelines first to start off the meeting so that we can proceed efficiently and respectfully. I'm going to ask the public at this time to just stay on mute and off camera. And once we call on you, you can unmute yourselves. I also am going to ask commission members and city staff to control their own mute buttons. Good practice is that we stay on mute and to avoid background noise and feedback. If you want to speak, you will raise your hand and I'll call upon you, and you just speak by stating your name first. That way people who aren't audio will know clearly who is speaking. Our meetings are recorded. Both video and written transcriptions will be made available to the public on the city's website at a later date. If you do have any audio issues, please text the following number, 845-443-0416. Please be aware that phone calls will not be answered during the meeting, but the number to text is 845-443-0416. I want to start off by thanking everyone for their patience, and we're now going to begin the meeting at 3:34. So the first item up would be the property at 165 Elmendorf Street. The applicant is here with us. Keith, do you want to unmute yourself? And do you have a video, Keith, or are you just on by phone?
I'm on by phone.
Okay. So this is a property, everyone has received a copy of the application that was submitted by Mr. Blair and his wife, Marta. Have you had a chance to review it? Everybody? Just thumbs up.
Yes, this is Tebby.
Oh, hi, Tebby. Okay, Tebby is here as well.
I cannot access via my iPad, so I'm on by telephone.
Okay, good. Okay, so Tebby, you are caller number 4.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess we should actually start with introductions. Again, I'm Sue Cahill. I'm the planning director for the city of Kingston. We also have with us today Kyla Dide, who is the assistant planner and staff. We have Sarah Wenk, who is a commission member, tree commission member. We have Vince Archer, who is a tree commission member as well. And we have John Duvall, who is a arborist and is on the tree commission as a professional advisor, and he is identified as caller number 1. We have Tebby Collins, who is on our commission as well, and she is identified as caller number 4. She's on a phone. I don't know who the other callers are. Caller 2, I'm going to mute you. And
this is Julie Noble. I'm here as well.
Okay, so Julie, you're caller 3.
Okay.
Caller 2, I just unmuted you. Can you identify yourself?
Hi, it's Don Tallerman.
Oh, Don Tallerman. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So, John, I'm going to ask you to start because I know you had gone to the location of the property on Elmendorf. The tree is actually on the Tenbrook side of the corner lot. do you want to say a few words about what you found at that location?
Yeah, I found that the whoever got called, the DPW, found a really interesting crack in that tree. It's a very old tree, and it has a cable going through it. The tree is actually being used as a stability pole for a telephone pole. I think, and there are, I think a lot of things, but I think all around that neighborhood are these locust trees, and that tree is just sort of not long for this world. I think it's dangerous because of the wires and the proximity to property and vehicles, and I think it should come down. I mean, it could be harshly pruned and survive for a couple of decades, but I just don't see that being prudent.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the other commission members have any comment on the application that was circulated to you?
No.
No? Okay. Vince?
No.
No? Sarah? No? Okay. I will say that we have been in contact with Central Hudson. We've been in contact with the lineman. Chris Clark is his name. It's their intent that they are going to remove the guy wire in the next couple of days and install a rod into the ground and secure their pole that way. Which would free up the opportunity to remove the tree from the property itself right now. Keith, I know you're here representing yourself as the property owner. Do you want to say a few words?
Well, I just want to make sure that it is okay as far as the arborist is concerned that's on the call here, that the tree, at the removal of that cable, is there any risk of the tree coming down at that moment? Is there any risk of the tree coming down within 2 weeks? I mean, is it still going to be stable enough for somebody to work on it? Because that seems to be the issue I'm having right now, is that it doesn't. Some of the people that have come out and looked at it won't even give me a quote because they're saying it's not stable enough to remove. It looks like the wire that is connecting the pole and the tree, that the pole is actually holding up the tree a bit. But I mean, what is your opinion on this?
John?
Hi, this is John. Yeah, I didn't do an elevated look at the tree, but I can see how that could be correct. Basically, there's a twisted crack in the bottom of the tree that you can see from street level, and without having done a core sample or anything, you don't know how deep that is or anything. But if that wire has been holding up the canopy of the tree and somebody takes that wire out, it could be, I mean, I think Central Hudson arborists could determine that on the day, but it's a really good point.
Right, and I have looped in the arborist from Central Hudson to try to get them involved, which seemed to be an undertaking in itself just to get the arborists from Central Hudson to actually be involved in this. I just got a name today for the arborist for Central Hudson who's going to be hopefully taking a look at it. I can't, off the top of my head, I cannot remember the name, but supposedly he is going to be involved. Yes, Susan, sorry.
This is Sue. The name is Craig Ormandy.
Yes.
John, are you familiar with that name?
I do not know Craig.
Okay, I don't know the name either.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
so, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think this is it's being done very well that everybody's taking the precautions.
Right.
Okay.
So the only thing is I'm kind of at almost at a standstill. I mean, you guys can approve the permit, but if I can't find anybody who's going to accept the risk of taking down the tree, I'm almost waiting for the tree to fall, is what it is. I can't take the tree down myself. If I don't have any options available to me to take down the tree because of the risk of it falling, there's no other anchor point they were talking about to be able to anchor the tree to hold it while they're working on it. They're like, we could shift weight one way and this tree could come down. I do understand. I think your determination was that it may be hollow inside as well, may have deep rot going on, along with that crack. So I mean, it looks like it's multiple issues.
Definitely not. Yeah, I'm sorry to jump in. It's definitely not structurally sound, that tree.
Yeah. So I mean, any
not
suggestions from the council here that other than just trying to get Central Hudson involved here? I mean, I'm out of options.
Isn't there a way?
Yeah, I mean,
truck and
Vince,
isn't there a way to take a bucket truck and take the top down above the anchor point?
So
then-
that would probably be a great question for the arborist. I mean, I don't. I'm not a tree person.
I mean,
This is
yeah,
Sue,
structurally.
speaking. The city of Kingston, the bucket truck at this point is out of commission. So, and because of there are wires in this, I believe, correct? Keith?
No,
There
there's
are
wires
running.
there's no wires really that are going to be involved in around the cutting. I mean, the tree does, of course, go past some wires. The only wire actually
Right.
physically touching the tree is that guide wire that is attached.
Right, but I was suggesting if they can cap the tree above the guide wire, and that'll give Central Hudson the ability to remove the guide wire and put a rod in to secure the pole, and the ability then to take the rest of the tree down without any risk of damaging anything.
Well, I mean,
This is-
sorry, go ahead.
No, this is John here. That is an excellent logic. If it's Central Hudson's deal, then they come and they take all the weight out of the top of the tree, and they put a second wire in. And once the second wire is in, to something in the ground or something, then they can take apart the rest of the tree. So it's a couple of steps. But to take the weight out of the top first is key. And then it can be taken apart instead of felled.
John, this is Sue again. John, I've asked Central Hudson if they have any financial resources to assist the property owner at this point with removal of any or all of the tree, and I was told no.
Well, that's a world I can't get
Let me
into.
just finish. Maybe Jeff, I know you're on the line as the liaison for Tree Commission and a member of the Common Council. And Don, you're also on the line for this meeting. Perhaps maybe between the two of you, you might be able to reach out to Central Hudson and assist and see if maybe you as elected officials could help with getting some financial resources applied.
Yes, this is Jeffrey Morel here. I can reach out to Central Hudson on, if you can just send me an email with the details as a reminder, I can do that.
Okay, I will send you the contact that I have and his direct phone number so you can reach out to him then. Okay, Jeff, thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Sue, were you gonna send the information to Jeff about the arborist, or a contact and say?
I'm going to send him the contact for Central Hudson. I don't have the number for the Central Hudson arborist.
Since they have
Keith
But since they
spoke
have a vested interest in preserving their lines, I don't see why they wouldn't support that. It seems like a no-brainer.
right.
Well, if I can speak from Central Hudson's point, the lineman came out and inspected the tree, and he's saying that there is no risk of the tree falling. Of course, he's a lineman; he's not an arborist. So that's kind of where the determination has been up until today, when the arborist was finally clued in, like, hey, maybe an arborist should be involved on the Central Hudson side. So like that, the Dan Ortley, I think his name was. I mean, we're kind of waiting on him at this point to see if what he's going to do, if he's going to do anything. And that's kind of where we're at.
Hey.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm going to try and Google him.
I mean, I don't have a contact for him. I do think he's a Saugerties resident, though.
I have an infrastructure engineer. Oh, would he be Asplund, maybe?
I don't know.
That's possible.
Ashland is One Tree Service. A lot of the work being done here is Lewis Tree Service through the Central Hudson people. Sorry, this is John anyway. So I'm not sure who you've got, but yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'll try and search for this Craig Orbandy a little further and see if I can't get a contact for him. But can we have a consensus of the commission members present on whether or not we agree that this tree should be removed? And I'm gonna call and just ask you to just indicate with a yes or a no. So I'll start with you, John. I know.
Yeah, hi, this is John. I believe it should be removed.
Okay. Vince?
Yes, removed.
Okay. Sarah?
Yes.
Okay. And Tebby?
Yes, remove.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. And so just to recap, the consensus is yes to remove it. I am going to send Jeff my contact information for the Central Hudson person that I have, and I'm going to continue to research out the Central Hudson arborist, Greg Ormandy, and try and get a number for them. Okay? All right, Keith?
No, that sounds great. Is there any way I could just be in the communication as well, just so I know what's going on?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I will do that.
Sounds great. And thank you, everybody,
Okay.
for your help on this.
Okay, thank you, Keith.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move on then to the next item. We'll go back to 165 Pearl Street. And that is a request. Everyone should have received the copy of the application. It's a request from Sarah Franklin and Chris Bradley. They're the property owners. They've already engaged Armand's Tree Service. They wish to prune the 2 trees along the sidewalk of Pearl Street. They included the photographs in the trees, and I just sent some more updated photographs that Sarah submitted over the weekend. Does anyone have anything to speak to regarding that application? I think it's an appropriate pruning job. The trees are very low hanging, not only over their lawn, but also over the street. And I think it's appropriate that the trees, both trees, be pruned up.
This is John. I agree with Suzanne on this. I know Armin's work. He's a accomplished artist, arborist, and I think they're lucky to have him do the work.
Okay. Anybody else have any comment? Okay, so I'm just gonna call for the consensus. John, you're a yes. Vince?
I am.
Yes.
I am. An elevation is always good for a tree like that. It's location
Okay.
and stuff like that. And Armin knows how to do reduction cuts and stuff and time of year. So yeah, you know, I think it
Okay.
sounds like a good plan. Good plan.
Okay, thank you, John.
Mhm.
Vince,
Yes, I agree.
Sarah? You're muted, Sarah. Sarah? You're muted, Sarah.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Sorry, and
Tebby? Tebby? Are you still there? She says she's unmuted. Tebby, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, well, I'll have to go back to her, but I have preliminarily that the consensus is a yes on this one. Okay. Put that one to the side. 97 Roosevelt is the next one I want to go over. This again this is a removal of 2 trees. I circulated the application and the photographs of the property. The property owner emailed me this morning and said he wouldn't be able to make the meeting this afternoon. However, he did want to know that the commission to know that they do intend to plant 2 new trees in place of the dead ones that they remove. He does not have a species of tree to replant. We certainly could make a recommendation to them. He's going to be using Netter Tree Service and a cut above. Any comments? John, do you have any comments on this one?
Yeah, this is John. I have not seen this property. I can look at it this afternoon after 5. I have a one, and then I'll weigh in. I think, anybody who's going to take down a couple of trees and put in some new ones is an opportunity to get the right plant in the right place. So I'll look at this at 5:30 and get back to you with my thoughts.
Okay, I did pull this up on the inventory. This is Sue again. And it did say routine prunes on both of them, but it also noted that there was cavities and decay on both trees.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I do know of Cut Above, and they're also a quality service.
Yeah, this is Vince. I've used them in the past. They've done
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah, they're good. I'm sorry, Suzanne. I do have to run. If somebody shoots me that, I will look at it this afternoon and get you an email by 6:30.
Okay,
All right. Thank you all so much.
thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye bye.
Okay, Vince, any thoughts on the application to remove and replant?
No, I thought that's good.
Okay, is there any discussion about the type of trees that should be put in as replacements? They are both maples right now. They are 2 different varieties. One is a red maple and one is a Norway maple.
I think I need to see it before I could and go over the list. Maybe once the trees are down, we can make some suggestions to him.
Okay.
The only concern I have is the root base for maples is pretty expensive. So I'm not exactly sure.
Narrow tree lawn, yes.
That's the only concern I would have
Okay,
in terms of the type of tree to replace.
okay. So do we want to allow you, I'll give you guys until maybe tomorrow to shoot me an email about removal and maybe a recommendation on the type of tree to replace? Is that
That's good.
okay
Yeah,
with you, Sarah?
Yeah,
Okay. And Tebby is no longer with us, so I don't know where she might have been cut off from wherever she was calling in from. Okay, so if everyone can get me an email then by, let's say, midday tomorrow, please.
okay.
Okay. The last one is the removal of the tree on 165, or I'm sorry, 218 Greenkill. This is a perfectly healthy tree. I don't know if anyone's looked, if you have looked at the materials that I sent around. It's a perfectly healthy tree. It is a chestnut tree, however, and I guess the nuts that are dropping are bothering the people that are parking beneath it along the street. And that was the reason for renewal or removal, that the property owners have received complaints.
I'm sorry, what was the address of this one, Sue?
218 Greenkill Avenue.
Well, they shouldn't park there.
There is a driveway for the house. And there are wires running through it, but the tree is perfectly healthy. I'm not seeing a lot of sidewalk upheaval on it either.
Well, I think if it's this is Sarah, I think if it's a healthy tree and they should just learn to live with it.
I would agree.
I'm going to take a ride over and take a look at it later today,
Okay.
and I can send you a note.
My recommendation is that we deny the request to remove at this point in time.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
okay. Caller 6, is that you, Tebby? Did you just call back?
Yes, I called back. I could hear you. You couldn't hear me. I don't know what happened.
Okay. All right. We're talking right now,
yes.
Tebby, about 218 Greenkill Avenue.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to find that one on my. I'm up in Maine and I'm having a lot of problems with my iPad and trying to get these messages through the encryption. But yes to the last two proposals, the Pearl Street, agree to prune, and the Roosevelt Avenue for what you wanted to know about removal and replanting.
Right. So you're okay with the removal?
Yes.
And we're going to take a look at the location for suggestions on replanting, the type of species to replant. Okay.
And yes.
And so now we're on 218 Greenkill.
Okay.
And Vince and Sarah want to take a look at that one. Actually, I think we're all in agreement, basically, that it not be removed. It's a perfectly healthy tree.
I don't know that I got a picture for that one. When I was trying to look on the, encrypted messages, two of them didn't have pictures, and that might have been one of the ones. And I'm trying to
Okay.
reaccess. But I agree with whatever you said for that one, that you should take another look at it. I mean, if it's just a matter of it's dropping things, but the tree is healthy, does it really need to be removed?
Yeah, it's perfectly healthy. It is. I mean, the complaint is that it's dropping the chestnuts on the car that parks beneath it. But the house does have a driveway. They could utilize that. At this point, the sidewalk appears to be in relatively good shape. I don't see another reason. There are utilities running through it, but they don't seem to be bothering the growth of the tree. So what is the pleasure of the commission? Do you want to agree, have a consensus not to remove the tree? Do you want to take a day and go and look at it if you can?
I am willing to take a look at it, but I would say if it's a healthy tree, it shouldn't be removed because, that's just silly.
Okay.
I concur.
Vince?
I concur with Sarah's assessment. It's a
Okay.
healthy tree to be removed, but I'll take a look at it anyway.
Okay, so I will hear from you by tomorrow noon again on that one.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So then we're going to move on to just the other tree matters that we have. Actually, you know what? Let's skip ahead. We have Julie Noble online. Julie, are you still there?
I am here.
Okay. So if we want to skip ahead to the open space plan, because Julie is here for that.
There may be mute and then unmute. Oh, maybe me talking just did that.
Yeah, okay, because everybody, Jeff is muted, Sarah now is unmuted, Vince is muted. So, okay, it stopped. All right, Julie, do you want to talk a little bit about the open space plan? I did circulate around to the commission members a copy of the communication of the referral from the Common Council along with the plan itself. I know it recognizes within the document the tree commission, street trees are recognized frequently as to their benefit, and it also recognizes the comprehensive plan and the acknowledgement within the comprehensive plan of the open space and the street trees and the parks throughout the community. I don't know if you want to say a few words, Julie? Julie?
I think she was caller number 4, and maybe it was her that caused the feedback because she's not
Okay.
there now.
Right. Okay.
No, actually, Teddy was caller number 4, and
Yeah.
I had to call back in, and I was trying to
Now
delete
you're calling
my other
number
call.
6.
Okay, now I'm call number 6. But I think I was having problems. I had to delete the other call, and in the process, I may have caused
Okay.
feedback.
All right, well, we don't have Julie on the line any longer. Has the commission members that are present had an opportunity to review it and make any comment?
I just got a text message from Julie saying she's still here and she hears us, but we can't hear her.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Maybe she'll call back in. Julie, can you hear me? Can you call back in?
Yep, she left.
Okay.
So let's give her a couple of minutes. Okay, while we're waiting for her, does anyone else on the commission have any comments on it? I've taken a look through it. I looked at it for all the commissions that are going to be making any comment back to the council. As far as the tree commission is concerned, I think it's very well covered. It reviews, like I said, it does review the activities of the tree commission.
I think she's back. She might be back now. Caller number 8, maybe.
Okay, she's caller number 8 now.
Can you hear me?
Julie, do you want to say a few words about the open space plan to the tree commission and their how they're interacting with this within it?
Sure. Yep, you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, great. So we're going through the seeker process with the open space plan. The council has been, we put together the environmental assessment form, and basically the different sections of the form, parts 1, 2, and 3, don't have any significant environmental impact. If you haven't had a chance to review the open space plan, it does identify visions particular to trees, which are to plant 1,000 trees around the city over the course of the next 10 years, but broader than that, specific to individuals, but broader than that, it really identifies locations around the city for larger tracts of open space preservation, preliminarily around the periphery of the city to concentrate development in the urban center and leave the larger open spaces more intact. At this point, the council has not adopted the plan. They need to go through seeker first, and as an interested agency, we circulated this to the tree commission for any concerns or comments. The open space plan is not a parcel level plan, so it is more visionary, but what would happen from there would be specific drilling down using the open space index that we've created to identify on the parcel level anything that we would want to do moving forward programmatically, and that would all, of course, need its own individual approvals. So at this point, what we're looking for from the tree commission is really understanding of the principles and any concerns that you may think arise, or if you are in disagreement with the environmental assessment form.
Sarah or Vince, do you have any comments?
No, I don't have any comments. This is Vince.
Yeah, I actually either did not get it or don't have it, but I am happy to look it over if Sue can send me another copy.
Okay. I've reviewed the environmental forms that Julie put together on behalf of the CAC for the Common Council. They appear to be totally in order and answered accurately. I've gone through the open space plan as it's been presented, looked at the vision, looked at some of the goals, and I do agree with the concept of the open space plan, and I would think that the tree commission should endorse it and make a recommendation back to the council to endorse it and adopt it, and also do a negative deck on the environmental. Comments?
This is Vince. I agree.
Okay. Tebby,
Yeah.
do you have any comment?
That sounds fine to me. I wasn't able to review it because as I said, I'm away and I'm having problems getting to certain things. But it seems like the plan itself, from your email, I got the letter. I got the letter to the tree commission but then it said the draft plan was at a website, which I wasn't able to get to yet.
In fact, actually, it was the final plan. We corrected that. It's the final plan.
Okay, that's at that website? Is that where you can access
Yes.
it, or?
Right.
Okay.
That's yes.
Well, I
That's the
haven't
link.
read it, but I would say the principles sound fine to me from what everyone has said.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Everything sounds perfectly acceptable.
Okay. So do we want to make a recommendation endorsing or recommending that the council adopt a negative declaration and endorsing the adoption of the final plan as provided?
Yes.
I'm getting yeses. Sarah?
Sure.
Tebby?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I will write up a comment from the commission with that as our recommendation.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Julie. Okay. So then let's go back up to the other tree matters. I'll just go through these briefly for you. They are not tree commission issues, but I thought that it would be important to have the tree commission up to speed on what's going on around the city. The first one was 3 Garrigan Drive, and that is the Spring Valley or Village, Springbrook Village apartment complex that's actually located off of Garrigan Drive, but the trees that were the issue identified by the Department of Public Works were those up along the upper part of Broadway as it winds down and turns and heads downhill by St. Mary's. So we notified them of the issue of the overhanging trees, the dead trees, the scrub, and the broken fencing. They have written us back and been in contact, and they are going to be addressing that within the next 30 to 60 days. They just needed time to put together the contractors to undertake that work, but they're definitely going to move forward with it. They asked that we allow them the time, the extended time frame, and we agreed. So that's where that one is at. The next item was 1 to 11 Glen Street. Sorry. That again is another issue of private property, but the property reaches from Glen Street all the way through to Navarra Street, which is a dead-ended street off of Linderman. If you know the area, it's up in Ward 3. And the property owners at the dead end of Navarra Street contacted us with a concern about a dead tree. It was unclear as to whether the tree was actually within the Navarra Street right-of-way. After it dead ends, it continues slightly. But we had DPW go up and measure it off, and it is not on the city's property. It is on the private property. So we have reached out again to that property owner. I have not yet heard back from them. I do know that the property is in the process of sale, and that the individual who is interested in purchasing the property wants to use the Navarra Street access as their point of entry for developing a home up on that area. And they want to bring utilities in that way as well. That letter went out about 2.5 weeks ago. So I'm going to reach back out to them again. I have not heard anything. Checked yesterday and the tree is still there. So we'll reach out again and try and get that one taken care of before it does damage to the adjacent property owners. The
Is that a
next one was,
Hi, so
Yeah.
this is that a vacant lot, 1 through 11 Glen Street,
yes, yes,
and the tree is on that lot.
it is on that property, yes.
And what do you know what's adjacent to it on either side or in back? Is there houses there? I've never
Yes,
been
on Navarra Street, there are 2 homes on either side of Navarra Street at that dead end. And the tree is large enough that they are concerned that it's going to fall and destroy a portion of their property potentially.
Is the tree dead? Is
The
that,
tree is absolutely dead, yes.
and isn't the property owner liable for that tree?
They are. Yes, they are. And that's why we've notified them.
Okay,
Public Works and our office have notified them to remove it.
okay,
Okay?
good.
The next item was the Ulster County Courthouse. We received a communication from the Ulster County Courthouse. There was a dead tree on their front lawn. I believe it's already been removed. They contacted us as a courtesy, which I appreciated. I spoke with them and they're going to replace that tree as well with another similar type tree. So that was just an FYI for us. There was another tree identified at the cave entrance along Lower Delaware Avenue. I'm in the process of trying to figure out the exact property owner for that. And we're going to be notifying them similarly to do a notice to remove that tree. It's a dead tree. Our DPW identified it and agreed that it has potential for falling, and if it fell, it would fall into the public street and across the public sidewalk area. So we're going to be doing that notification as well.
Is that, where exactly in Delaware is that? Where the caves are as you get the hill on the left?
You know where the cave entrances are? After you pass the business park going down towards the Kingston
Right.
Point, you head down that hill, you turn that sharp corner, and you have those caves down below. It's where our Bruin kind of intersects
Right.
across the street from that.
I think that's Kevin McAvoy's place, isn't it? He owns that
He's further down. He's beyond.
Oh,
Yeah, no, this is not on his property. I believe it's the property of the individuals who own the caves. Kyla, you're familiar with it, right? You think that's right? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Knaust or whatever the name is now.
Right. So they'll be
Yeah,
notified.
I think that's right.
Okay. The next one is 221 West Chestnut Street. This was a tree that was damaged by a business vehicle. It was a box truck. And the property owners at 221 notified us when the incident occurred. They took photographs. And John Duvall had subsequently gone out and taken a look at it, at the damage, and he recommended that bark tracing method of repair. And so we did get a cost estimate for that work to be done by Lee Winnie, who is the contractor who we hired to do all the tree removals for our grant that we should be completing tomorrow, as Kyla has informed me, which is great news. That one will be completed. We'll close that out. And we contacted the owner of the business whose truck did the damage. They have already reimbursed the city of Kingston, and Lee Winnie, I believe, has already completed the work. I have to go and check it. So that was, was a good thing. We were able to save the tree by addressing the damage immediately so that there was no infestation or further damage to the tree. So that was that one. And then the last one is 55 and 59 Westchester Street. Property owners at 59 Westchester Street contacted us about a tree on 55. It's on private property. This to me is a civil matter. We've identified the property owners. It's not a tree that's going to do any damage if it falls to any public property. So I believe it's a civil matter. I have to review that with Corporation Counsel, and it'll be put into the hands of the property owner to take care of between himself and the two private property owners. It's not a tree that we would typically become involved with, since there's no public damage that we can see would happen. So that's that one. Tree Commission membership. I had circulated a letter with the package of materials on how we're looking at reconfiguring the membership, and that would be actually making both Tebby as our Memorial Tree Fund representative and John Duvall as our licensed arborist, our professional advisor, to become voting members of the commission. I didn't get any negative feedback. I've already sent it along to the Common Council as a communication. I just need a consensus from those who are present that that is appropriate, and you agree with that tact.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Tebby?
This is,
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, good. So, and Jeff is our liaison, and he's also the chairman of Laws and Rules, who will be discussing the matter. I don't know, Jeff, do you have any questions about the communication?
No questions. I guess I just wanted to hear what the commission had to say about it, and I'll communicate that to the rest of the committee.
Okay, I'll probably jump on the meeting if you need me. If you have any questions after you've read through it, it's really so that the commission can be more effective in their role and responsibilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
No, Sue, it's
yes.
Sarah. Don't we also have openings on the commission?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
I know at least one person who applied. Is everything just stopped because of the endless chaos that is our lives?
Yeah, that person's application has been forwarded to the mayor. It's up to the mayor to appoint. We've discussed it, and he's put it on the side burner for now. Okay.
Sue, sorry, Sue, this is Jeffrey. I have a question.
Sure.
Will this reduce the number of members for the commission, or just include more people as voting members?
No, it reduces the number of members from 9 to 7.
Okay.
But it retains the 5 voting members of the commission. So it would still be a quorum. It would need a quorum of 3 to vote.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And the good thing is that obviously the Memorial Tree Fund has been a very active participant along with the Tree Commission. And our arborist, John Duvall, who was on earlier this conversation, has been very active and very helpful when we have questions. He's more than willing to go out and look at trees and give us, a professional assessment and advise us as to, what he finds. So he's been extremely helpful in that respect. So having both him and Tebby Collins as the Memorial Tree Commission members, voting members, I think is very appropriate. Okay. The last thing I just needed to let people know is I do have a lot of Arbor Day materials since we were not able to have an official Arbor Day ceremony. I know that we're looking at something potentially this fall, but if anyone is interested, I do have bookmarks, I have posters that are here. If you would like one, I'm more than happy to share them with you. The poster is actually very beautiful.
How would that be disseminated? City
I
Hall.
can hand it to you through the door with my mask on. If you give me a second, I'll show you.
Should have to paper airplane it to your house, Vince.
Yeah.
That would be good.
So
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the poster.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And the bookmark has it on it too. So I don't know, Julie, if you're still on the line,
Yeah, I'm still here.
I don't know if you would be able to do anything with the bookmarks. I've got a couple hundred of them.
I can add them to the couple hundred I have from previous years that I haven't gotten rid of yet.
You know, I feel bad that they're sitting here. Maybe once the libraries open up, I'll bring a pile of them up there to them. I can, I don't know how soon the Forsyth Nature Center might be opening, and we can give a pile up there. They can hand them out.
Yeah, Mark has
You
handed
know.
them out before from the Nature Center. I mean, I can't imagine that that's going to open until phase 4 at the earliest.
Right.
But we can have Kyla bring them up there.
Yeah, so, I mean, if anybody can think of things that might be opening up where we might be able to distribute them, I'm more than happy to share them because they're nice. And I think, it'd be nice to have a little tchotchke.
Did you
So
look
that's
at it?
really all.
Hi, this is
I'm sorry.
Vince. This is Vince. Did you look at like Herzog's or Adams or any of the tree services that might be able to hand them out too? That'd be nice.
That's a really good idea. I didn't think of that. The nurseries.
Nursery.
That's a great idea. To give a stack to each of them.
Yeah.
I will do that.
I can't remember the guy's name, but it's BFW. There's another nursery. Augustine's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Augustine and Herzog's. Adams has done, given us trees in the past.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to do that. I think that's a great idea. Good. Great suggestion. So that is really all that I have for today, unless anybody has anything else.
Yeah, I wanted to just bring up briefly the I guess it seems like it was a week ago, but I guess it was yesterday or the day before, the removal of trees at Kingston Point Park, which I understand is part of a larger project, but it is like the height of nesting season, and to take down 8 really large, healthy trees now when construction isn't going to start for quite a while just seems really unnecessary. And I just wish that we could be consulted on these big projects before they go ahead. There was a whole rush to get the trees on Broadway and the trees on the traffic circle cut down before they went into leaf, before nesting season started. And then 8 huge trees in a quiet area right by the water just get taken down as demolition for a project that doesn't even have a design yet. I wish that there was another I wish that we had been consulted and maybe those trees could have stood until the fall. And when the birds and the squirrels and whatnot were done with them. So I hope we can be, I hope we can be brought more into the loop on these projects sooner going forward.
If I can speak to that, Sue, can I have a moment to speak to that?
Yes, absolutely, Julie.
Great. So this is Julie Noble. I'm the project manager for the Kingston Point Park project. And just for a few points of clarification, there are designs for the project. They are going to be posted this week. We are finalizing the construction designs, but the demolition design has been done for several months. And the reason why we took the trees down now is because it's not that construction is going to be happening far in the future. We are going out to bid anytime. And in order to go out to bid, we need to have the site prepared for the bidders in order for them to make their appropriate bid. So it needs to be as the existing conditions that they will be working with. And we are going to go to construction this summer. So that project, the construction will be done before the end of the year. And so that is the reason we needed to take the trees down. And in order to install the new parking lot and the soccer field, those trees were right in the way of where the new installation would be, which is why they were removed. So all this information is on the city's website at kingston-ny.gov. If you go to Kingston on the Move, there's a web page just about Kingston Point, and that is where you will see the most updated information. I had a conversation with the funder today, and everything is prepared to move forward. So you will see construction there this summer, and you will see us going out to bid within the next month.
Thank you, Julie. Julie, this is Sue. Can I ask a question? As part of, and I should look this, I should know this. As part of the plans, are there any new trees scheduled to be planted?
Yes. So the trees that are on the periphery along the edge of Delaware Avenue are staying. There are 1 or 2 small trees on the site that are going to be transplanted. And as part of the new landscaping plan, there will be at least 4 good size, 15 foot, as big as we can, trees installed as part of the new landscaping, in addition to a linear rain garden and bioswale that will be installed as part of the new parking lot installation, and additional landscaping around both of the new amenities. So yes, there will be new trees installed as part of the process.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else?
This is Tebby. I just wanted to say I see Kyla resent the open space plan, and it did come through this time.
Okay.
I don't have
Good.
to go to the website, but I see it's 128 pages long. Oh,
That includes all the other documentation too. But the website might be a clearer version because that attached one was scanned. So
Okay.
it's up to you which one you want to use, but the website might be a nicer, cleaner version.
It seems like it's good. I just don't know how carefully I'm going to read 120.
Well, skip to the part way through. You can skip those first, whatever, 20 some pages for sure.
Kyla, can you
Yeah.
send that link? 'Cause
Read
I-
the actual open.
I just did, Sarah. Did you not get it? I sent it to everybody.
Let me look. Oh, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. So if there's nothing else, I will make a motion that we close the meeting. Anybody else?
Okay.
Okay. We are done. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff, for joining us. Thank you, Julie, for joining us. Thank you, Don, also for calling in. And we will close the meeting.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.